Well, hello, Jenna. It's so good to see you again.
Yes, it's so good. How are you, bro? How is everything? Happy 2025.
Yes, happy 2025. Obviously, we're H-Town bros as well, but
Yes.
we both have our hearts in West Coast, and you have gone there. I'm jealous of you. You go there more often than I do.
Well, I actually live here now. It's wild. I actually had to make that move from Houston so it's just been good to start off the new year with like a new environment, new place, new energy. So it's been really
Well,
good.
you know how Houston is. I mean, it's wild. We just had snow here. We have the hurricane. I mean, we have
I
the. I
know.
know LA had the sad fires. I actually
I
flew in the
know.
other day when it started and flew right back out because I had some stuff that I was
Oh.
attending. So I know everyone out there in LA still suffering, and our hearts go out to all the people in LA.
It's crazy. It's wild how much is going on and just prayers to everybody because it's such a serious like even in like in my church like there was like 50 people that lost their homes. So like it was just crazy being like, right next to some people that like lost everything. So it's very sad, but like that's why I've been praying a lot just for healing for everybody because losing it's just crazy losing your home, your safe space. So yeah, just prayers to
And
everybody.
we here in Houston know about travesties and all the natural disasters. So definitely, we
Yes.
relate to all the,
Yes.
Los Angeles and Californians that deal with this as well. And I know you've been so busy, so I really appreciate you having the time to chat and catch up. I
Yes,
think
me
the
too.
last time I technically our paths kind of crossed, but I was at San Diego Comic Con in 23 with the Legends of the White Dragon
Oh,
panel,
yeah, that's
which was
right.
so emotional for everyone,
I
including
know.
myself.
I
But it
know.
was so powerful and such an important panel. So I'm glad that happened. So I do
Yes.
want to start off talking Legend of the White Dragon. Everyone's
Yes.
anticipating it. I know you don't
Yes.
have the answer to this. You're not the person to have the answer of this.
Well, I
But we're
do have some news though, okay? And here's the thing, and I would love to explain this because there's a lot of people that's like, look, it's never gonna come out. I'm like, trust me.
No, it's
And
love. It's
here's the
taking
thing.
time. You want to
Yes,
do it right.
exactly. Yes,
We
yes,
everyone
yes.
knows. Everyone's being patient about it because we
Yes,
want it done
yes.
right, and we're doing it for it's
Yes,
coming
for
out.
sure. But yes, for sure. But to give like comfort to everybody and those who may not know like what's going on, there has been multiple different jumps on this film. Like we have a Marvel producer now on our film. So it's definitely gone to so many different levels and just to, really perfect this film. That's why it's taken so long. But this is the year of the dragon. 2025. This is the year. And I don't want to spoil too much, but there's just a very interesting like with the numbers with the it's just very I can't explain too much, but I'm really excited. It all makes sense. It all makes sense.
No, no, you want to elevate the film as much as possible. So as more resources come into play too, you want to add to this amazing, amazing film. Obviously, what I saw over there was awesome, and I'm
It's
excited.
so
Everyone's
awesome.
excited for it. We've been excited a long
I
time, so we're being
know.
patient about it.
Yes.
I wanted to ask about some, if favorite behind the scenes memory of filming because it also has a great cast on top of your dad, of course.
Yes.
But I just love everybody that's also part of it.
I feel like I can't really pick out like one memory because the whole time was just like literally it was like a movie on set. Like my dad was just like the jokester, like always messing with everybody. And I think it was Chris's birthday one time, and Chris is the executive producer on the film. And he put his face in the cake and just like little moments, it's just so funny. Like I feel like throughout the whole movie though, like it was just wow, like just the whole cast and crew, like everyone made this film exactly what like it needed to be. And it just highlights mental health so much. And there's so much of my dad in there. Like, and it's like kind of wild because, he created this story with Aaron. And so just to see it like now looking back, it's like, wow, that was a lot of him that he put in there. So it's bitter and sweet, and just with grieving, it's a weird journey, but I'm just excited for everyone to see like, his dream. This is he wanted to create his own IP and his own, identity. So I'm excited.
No, I'm super excited for everyone to see that, and I can't believe how long it's been already since we lost, the amazing JDF. And I know you talk grief and everyone, grieved about it and everyone deals with grief in their own way. So how do you deal with it yourself?
So honestly, I'm learning a lot about myself through grief. And like whenever at first, because see, I lost my sister the year before my dad, and my dad had actually found my sister passed away. So there was just a lot that had happened within these 13 months of losing both of them. So like I didn't know how to cope. I was just busy, just never home, like always, at my friends or just traveling. I really wanted to go see people, and that's how I felt close to my dad too. So, I started like going out and meeting people, and going on tour, and that was really like super beneficial for me. But now I'm in this state of like healing, like meditation. I just got out of hot yoga, like just stuff that I never thought, because see, I have ADHD, and like me and my dad are a lot similar in this way. Like we will do like a million different things and our brain never shuts off. So I'm learning to like just be in that mindfulness state of mind. Like in the, meditation is a state of nothingness. So that's so powerful for me, and journaling too, and now I've actually created a podcast called Unlock True Healing, because I really have healed so much and I've grown at such a rapid speed within these last 2 years. It's just like it's surreal for me to even like look back. But yeah, that's really kind of how I grieve. So
Yeah, you have some great tools, I guess, at your hands, and there's some tools you want to provide people for dealing with grief.
yes.
So you want to talk about that?
Yes, for sure. I actually talk about this in my podcast too. But like I said, journaling and just stepping out of your comfort zone. Like the first time the first time I went to hot yoga, I was actually it was me and my mom. So I didn't go alone. But like the second time I went, I had to go alone. So it was breaking out of my comfort zone and just knowing like once I get there, it'll be okay. So just trying new things, getting out of your comfort zone, having your love family. That's what I like to call, your love circle, your love family. Expressing your triggers is very important. This is something that's really helped me out too. Expressing them and knowing what your triggers are, and kind of like not avoiding them, but just knowing when they come up, and just to really be gentle with yourself too. Knowing that no emotion is bad. Like, you could feel angry, you could feel just every emotion. It all serves purpose. And yeah, prayer is really important to me too. That's something that I have to stay in the spirit, like, because it's the flesh versus the spirit, so I'm constantly having to stay in the spirit, because if not, you get overwhelmed by this world, so really just doing practice like self-care, like meditation, stretching, just constant. It becomes a routine, and showing up for yourself. And some days you're not going to feel as good as others, and just knowing it's okay. Grief is such a weird journey, man. Like it's such a weird roller coaster, but it's like, there's a lot of people that have actually are on the same roller coaster as you too. So it's important to reach out to.
Yeah, I know how faith is so important to your family, and it was so important to your dad. That definitely, he had that on his sleeve all the time. His faith was always on his
Yes,
sleeve.
yes,
Yeah,
for real
and
though.
so many
This
great
is
memories. I mean, I've known you since you were little, and I don't know if I've shown you these pictures where I was there at the snow day that your dad put together, and you're having
yes,
so much fun on that
yes,
slide, and he was just putting on community
yes.
events. I mean, there's a lot of things that people don't maybe not
Oh,
know about him, but he just loved bringing the community together with his family,
yes,
and
yes.
just a lot of memories there. I think the first official time I met him was, I don't know the year, but it was a couple years before that, where the con circuits in Houston were blowing up, and
Yeah.
y'all came to the convention, or was at a hotel, but y'all were going the
I
wrong
remember
way.
this. I remember
When
this.
going the
Yes.
wrong way, I was like,
Yes.
I was like, you don't, you don't want to go this way. There's a mob waiting for you. Well, go this way, and you'll just bypass it, because y'all are just running behind. So it's like, just to get there quicker, because everyone's waiting for y'all. Just go
Yeah.
this way. And he was like, oh, come see me, and he gave me all this cool stuff, and he was just so grateful. That was the first time I was like, I'm meeting my hero for the first time. I mean, I'm a '90s kid, so your
That's
dad was on my TV all the time, all the toys, everything. I got my black belt because of him,
that's
So, and
that's
everyone
I
has
have
the
a lot of
same
respect for that.
story.
For
Everyone
real.
has the same story that I have. There's millions of us out there. But he treated us like he knew us. He didn't look down to us being older, being our hero. He saw us eye to eye, which is
Yeah,
amazing.
straight up.
And
Yes.
ever since then, every interaction I had with y'all, with him, which is awesome. And I was always there to support, take photos, document, kind of showcase all the love y'all are doing at conventions. And now, which I loved about this, is you just jumped into, the con circuit, keeping his
Yeah.
legacy alive. And you've been going to all these events, which is magical. So what has been the most rewarding part of meeting fans and at all these amazing conventions?
And I always make it like I always make this my biggest point, is that we're grieving together, and that's like the most important part of it for me too. Like, and just, being real too. Like, people will tell me, that, whatever is going on in their life, maybe it's just not the best season. And, if I'm not having the best season, I'm going to be honest about it too. So just being raw and genuine. And, I have my hot sauce. So, people try it. Like, it's just cool. Like just creating an environment, a safe place, a safe spot and a safe place. Like that's super important for me. And just being able to like express how I feel. And, I'm just such like a human person. Like, I don't know, I just love people, like a humanitarian. That's what, yes. Like, I just love people. And I'm just so interested how we're all so different, how we all just have one fingerprint, like how there's 8 billion people and we all have one fingerprint. Like, it's just so cool to hear people's story. And it helps me too. It makes me feel I'm like I'm not alone in, my grief. So.
Yeah, I love that you're carrying on his legacy, and I know you've come across so many fan tributes to your dad that really touched you. But is there one that maybe stuck out that kind of like shocked you? You're like, oh, this is awesome, this is very cool, or something very touching?
Well, okay, so I remember I was actually at this show in hold on, where was I? I think I was in Arkansas. And this dude who's probably about 16, 17, he's a really talented kid. He showed me this fan TV show that they started like for Power Rangers. And this was like the coolest like editing. I forget the name. I gotta look back. I have it in my email somewhere. I wish I remembered off the top of my head, but it was so cool to see like, wow, like people are so talented, like the editing and just everything. So that was cool because it was like a series, like, and it was like their own, like, but I've also seen multiple ones like that too. So it's just so cool. Like, honestly, all of them, it's just cool because they're all so different too. It's like everyone has their own touch on it with editing or the way they shoot or whatever. So it's cool. Or creating the characters, like, it's cool.
Yeah, everyone's adding their own flair, kind of showing their tribute and keeping the legacy alive, just like you are.
Yes, yes.
A fandom that's never going to die, a hero to many that's going to live on in many different ways. Um, it's funny, like you don't see it, but like I have a lot of Power Ranger stuff behind me, but also at my parents' house, I have so much stuff. All my signed stuff from your dad's at my house. And I have some really cool stuff, like Super Mega Force front page script I have.
Dang,
Signed by him in the cast.
Dang, that's so cool.
I have a couple.
I didn't know you had that. That's so cool.
Yeah, I'll send you something. I have a bunch of cool.
that.
Yeah, I have a handful of cool stuff and a very cool, like really, I think 1 of 500 figure. Some really cool stuff. I even have like the original, Saba sword. That was probably the first thing I had in sign was the original Saba sword. Like that was like probably like the holy grail thing, like every kid wants. And I do have a picture. This is a funny story. Like when I was a kid, there's so many promotions for Power Rangers everywhere. Like McDonald's had stuff every time. And so like there was like appearances for Power Rangers. So it's some random individual in a costume. But I remember going to, I think it was McDonald's and the White Ranger was there, and I personally think it's your dad in there, but it's obviously an actor. This is like 1996 or something. But like I have a picture and I have like this like makeshift like knockoff sword from Power Rangers with them. And I was so excited. And so like it just shows you how powerful that show was for many as kids, and now the modern day kids for whoever their ranger is. But it's a franchise that gave you your hero and who to look up to and lessons to learn along the way. Even if someone sees someone in a mask, they think that actual actor, that character, that real person's behind that mask. So all the cosplayers out there, when the kids see you, they really think it's that person.
That's very true. I didn't think about it like that. And it's I'm still understanding like, and obviously like growing up, like, I thought it was like so cool, but now I'm understanding as I'm tapping into like being like a woman, like a grown woman and not like a, teenager anymore. Like as I'm growing up, I'm like, wow, like this is crazy to see like the depth that this goes like all around the world. Like it's crazy. And that's why mental health is so serious because you could really like you could really mean so much to so many people. And it's like if you're struggling mentally, like you really just got to reach out and get help, And I know my dad was very truthful about mental health and stuff. But he was also scared to reach out and get help, and that's where I feel like it's also my job to just, just speak on it. Like that's why, me and my mom have been doing suicide prevention walks and just being like in that environment. And just to really shed light and just to speak the truth about mental health. And men's mental health is so serious. It's 85% of suicide is men. So that just shows, because, and I actually was talking to this therapist, psychiatrist. She actually wrote this book and, we were talking about how, like, cause even my nephew, he's 3 years old and he'll cry, just as much as a little girl, and that's where that's where society has kind of failed us in a way to, to make little boys like, man up by the time they're age of 5. And then from that point, you learn as a young kid, not to have emotions or to man up. And that's not right, like,
Right.
so yeah, I think that that's what, my purpose is too, is to shed that light. Even though I'm a female, like I have so much respect for men because, y'all really do handle a lot. So yeah, but that's why it's important.
Yeah, and also, like, the strongest people in the world are also vulnerable and are sensitive.
Mhm.
Even though, you
Yes.
look at them like that's a strong individual, even though
Yeah,
they're strong, they're battling things and in general,
exactly.
and but you just never know. But he definitely treated everyone amazing. I've witnessed it. I've
Yes.
watched back for like hours as these conventions and watched them interact, and I'm like, he knows how to do it. Like he's got this format. He loves it. He gives
No,
everyone this
he
amazing
does.
engagement. So I
Yes.
wanted
Yeah.
to ask you, what is one lesson from your dad that you carry forward?
I feel like literally my whole personality, my whole thought process is because of him. Like, if that makes sense. Like, it's so hard for me to, I guess I got to start thinking on what, but it's more of like my whole thought process, just even the way that like my heart, the way I care for people, the way I love, the way, I don't judge anybody. Like, that's really my dad. So that's where I guess it's really like my whole, honestly, me and him are like twins in a way.
Yeah,
Like,
you're his mini me. You're his mini me.
yes,
That's what it is, because
yes, for real.
you were there with him everywhere. I mean, y'all have
Yes,
documented that. I've seen it. You're
I
everywhere with
know.
him.
And I'm at this point in my healing process too where I can actually look back and enjoy these moments and not like get into such a bad mental spot because I've struggled with my own, like depression and it's something that runs in the family too. But yeah, like there's really not one specific lesson I would say. It's more of really my heart and I guess the way I treat people and the way I love and the way I don't judge. Like, and I feel like we judge ourselves too. And that's what makes us judge other people. And that's where you just got to know that, like all of your emotions serve purpose. Like you just got to be gentle with yourself. So I learned all of that from my dad and just the way to treat people. And yeah, just love and light.
Yeah, I see so much of your dad and you. Obviously, there was one time I went to. I keep forgetting the place. The iFly. I went to iFly one
Yeah,
time.
I fly,
I would
I
go there,
fly.
and I just parked, and all of a sudden, your dad pulled up next to me. I'm like, this is just weird. I mean, like running into your dad was
Dang.
just a weird thing for me because he is my hero. Like that was the guy for me. And
Aw.
just, and I didn't really run into him until like a later time in age. If I was a kid running into him, I would freak out. Right.
Yeah.
But I still freaked out a little bit. But I was with my dad and I was
Yes.
like, hey, Jason, nice to meet you. And I was like, this is my dad. And he's like, oh, awesome. Great to meet you and all this stuff. And I'm like, Dad, that's the Power Rangers. He's like, oh my God. It's like, that's awesome. Like, 'cause my parents knew how much I
Aw,
love the Power
that's
Rangers and stuff like that. So definitely, I think my mom even met him too. Like everyone's met him and he's obviously like so much to adore about him. you
no, for
know,
everything. He was
on
just
screen, off
so
screen, he
unique.
was on
Yes.
screen, off screen, he was the charismatic Tommy Oliver,
Yes, yes, and always he loved jokes. He loved, just anything with magic too. Like we would always go into little magic shops. He would get the little like this is funny, but he would get the little fart bombs and he would drop like he just loved messing with people too, like just making
yeah.
people laugh. Like he just loved creating that energy, that space for people, like just to laugh because laughter is medicine, and like you just gotta dig into your goofy side sometimes.
Your dad was goofy. But I do want to ask this though, what is one thing maybe you wish fans knew about your dad that they may not have seen in the public eye?
Honestly, my dad was a real superhero, like just in real life. Like I love him and admire him so much because of the person like he is. And I don't like saying was. Sometimes I catch myself saying that, but is like I remember multiple times, if a car was broken down, he would get out of the car and go push the car, or anytime like there may have been like homeless, he, goes and gets them food and goes in. I remember one time there was this homeless man, he got him a hotel for like 3 days and he just chilled with him. He cut his hair. He cut his hair and he got him food. Like it just literally watched movies with him. Like that was him in real life. So it's like I really grew up with like the best example. So
No,
yeah.
absolutely. No, I've seen it. I loved all the community events. He was always giving back. He was
Yes,
always
that
giving
part.
back.
Yes.
Maybe
Oh,
not everyone saw it, but when you did, like he would just wanted to do good to people. Maybe his students, the community, his neighbors, his family, his fans. I mean,
Yes.
he covered every.
No, for real
He
though.
he did so much. A lot of great memories. Um, you have some big convention appearances, huh?
Yeah, so actually right now I'm taking a little bit of a break
I know
because
you're
this
working
is
overtime.
wild.
I saw
So yes,
that.
so I looked back and I just was curious. I was like, I wonder how many, appearances I've done. It's been 52 since like so almost 2 years now, or almost three, I guess yeah, 2.5 almost or whatever. So I've been able to, see a lot of different people and see a lot of different places and it's been really cool. But I did take a little bit of a break because the holidays and watching my nephew and just trying to be a family person right now. Just trying to be a good daughter and so I'm taking a little bit and I'm actually creating like courses, like masterclass courses that, healing, like literally, like I want to be a life coach. And I know this, like God has given me this so many different times and to really speak about how to break free from that. Cause I never thought I could. Like I never thought I was in my own darkness. Like that's something that me and my dad were really bonded on too, just how messed up it felt like our minds were sometimes. So that's where yeah, so that's where I'm actually creating these master classes and doing this workbook. I was gonna do a guided grief journal, but then God put on my heart a workbook because I'm gonna be, having multiple different pages with meditations and, even a whole page about what is mindfulness, because a lot of people don't know what mindfulness is. So yeah, that's basically what I'm stepping into right now. But basically, I do have a couple of conventions lined up, definitely Rhode Island, and we're trying to figure out San Diego again and LA and the ones that I've been to these last couple of years, and a couple comic stores too. I do got a couple appearances coming up in March on New Jersey over there, and then I got two over here in Cali. But yeah, I think this year is really about me creating and stepping out of my comfort zone and just creating. I'm just excited. I just want to heal and help. Like my end goal is to sorry, go build schools and go build houses in different countries. It just gets me so excited. Like that's my end goal. Like when I'm done here, I just want to be able to help in every way that I can. So yeah.
No, I love that. I know how proud your family is. I know how proud your dad is. He's looking down at you saying, "Oh, that's my girl."
Thank
she's
you, bro.
she's
Thank
doing
you.
such an amazing job. I know all the fans love you. I mean, the whole world loves you and is with you. And we're super excited that you're making these appearances, doing these things, and giving back in your own way as well. So, Jenna, we definitely have to catch up again soon. Thank you so much
Yes,
for
for
chatting, keeping your
sure.
dad's legacy alive, inspiring others.
Amen. And hey, I got his name tatted right here
Oh, I
too. So
love that.
yeah, I love it. But yes, always, every day, every day.
Thank you so much, Jenna.
Yes, thank you, bro. I'll see you soon. Okay, God bless.